Hey everyone, welcome back. So today we're diving into a really fascinating explainer based on a text called Know the Best You by Angel Tara. Now I know what you might be thinking, celestial guidance, angels, it all sounds a bit out there, right? But stick with me. We are actually going to take this purely abstract spiritual concept and translate it into a totally practical framework for self-discovery. We're essentially bridging the gap between the divine and the daily grind. And to kick things off, we have to start with a massive, literally foundational question. Do you really know yourself? Like, really? The whole premise here asks us to pause and honestly reflect on whether we genuinely know what we're best at. What's the absolute best part of you? It really sets the stage for an internal journey, which, quite frankly, is absolutely crucial for everything else we're going to talk about today. Because, well, before we can look outward, or in this case, upward, we've got to look inward. All right, so let's jump right into section 1. Meet your celestial guide. Now, let's explore this kind of ethereal concept of a waiting spiritual entity. But here's the hook, and I think it's so fascinating. The text specifically says that the angel is getting bored. Think about that for a second. The premise isn't that divine guidance is mysteriously hiding from us. No, it's that we are just way too busy to actually stop, talk, and listen. You know? We're all so wrapped up in the endless hustle and bustle of everyday life, and meanwhile, the celestial guide is essentially just sitting around twiddling their thumbs, waiting for an invitation to interact. Because the thing is, if we did make the time, these entities are incredibly eager to help. They're waiting to guide you through your journey, to show you new ways of doing things, and to offer these fresh insights that you probably wouldn't see on your own. But it's not all serious, heavy life path stuff. Their ultimate goal, it's simply to make you smile, to make you feel happy and good about yourself. Honestly, I find that to be a deeply comforting baseline for what this guidance is actually supposed to look like. Moving right along to section 2, decoding angel messages. So how do these divine intentions actually manifest in our incredibly noisy lives? We really need to ground this concept. Angel messages are defined very clearly here as communications from a celestial being, a messenger from God or the divine realm. And their sole purpose is to provide guidance, inspiration, and support. We need to nail down this exact definition so we know exactly what we're looking for, right? It's not about magic tricks. It's about receiving real, structural support for your life's path. And look, these messages almost never arrive as some booming cinematic voice from the sky. Instead, they take much subtler forms. We're talking about dreams while you sleep or sudden visions. Very often, it's just intuitive thoughts. You know, that gut feeling you just can't seem to shake. Or maybe it's synchronicity, those wild, seemingly impossible coincidences that happen at exactly the right time. It can even be physical signs right there in your environment. By breaking this abstract idea down into a checklist, we can actually start actively keeping an eye out for these things. Which brings us to this absolutely crucial, powerful quote. To understand that and get the feel of it, you need to understand self. This is the pivot. The narrative responsibility completely shifts onto you here. You can't possibly decode the divine or interpret these subtle little messages if you don't have deep self-awareness first. To connect to the celestial, you absolutely must connect to your own self first. That brings us to section 3, the self-discovery challenge. Okay, this is where we funnel all these grand, high-level celestial concepts down into a highly actionable, practical application for your actual day-to-day routine. I want you to start reflecting right now. Ask yourself, when does the best idea come to your mind? Like, really think about your daily habits. When does that lightning bolt of inspiration actually strike you? Is it when you're sitting at your desk staring blankly at a computer screen, or is it somewhere completely different? The source gives us a very specific framework for tracking these personal epiphanies so we can turn it into a daily habit. It's super simple. Step 1, you get the idea. Step 2, you must write it down immediately. But step 3, this is the magic key right here. You have to note the exact date, the time, and the specific environment you were in when that idea arrived. You are essentially gathering raw data on your own inspiration. And the text gives us some wonderfully relatable examples of these environments. It could be while you're having a bath, or, and I absolutely love the humor injected here, during the early morning abdomen flush. It's kind of a hilarious but completely real juxtaposition, right? You've got this ethereal angel guide speaking to you during your most basic, everyday bathroom routines. Or maybe it happens when you're completely alone on a beach, or uniquely, when you're hanging out with very specific types of people. The point is, you have to start making a note of it to find your own specific pattern. And finally, section 4, tapping into your potential. So once you've tracked all this data about yourself, how does it actually unlock your peak performance? Well, you have to weigh two drastically different states of human performance to figure out your own optimal operating conditions. Basically, do you perform your absolute best when you have everything, like when you're totally comfortable and secure? Or do you actually perform best when you have lost everything, operating entirely without fear simply because you've got nothing left to lose? Figuring out which of these two extremes triggers your best work is a massive, massive step in self-awareness. But wait, there's a third alternative to consider. Do you do your best when someone pushes you? This is vital to acknowledge. Some of us genuinely require external motivation to truly excel, whether that's a mentor, a tough boss, a strict deadline, or even our celestial guide giving us a little nudge. And listen, there is absolutely no wrong answer here, but you do have to know which one of these applies to you. And you might be asking, why does tapping into this personal potential even matter so much? It comes down to this beautiful thesis right here. Your highness brings others also to their highs. It's the ultimate ripple effect. When you elevate yourself, when you really know yourself and perform at your peak, it doesn't just serve you, it actively lifts up everyone around you. Your own personal self-discovery literally becomes a gift to your entire community. Ultimately, this whole practice of self-tracking, of connecting with your inner self so you can finally hear that waiting guide, it grants you complete autonomy over your life's direction. You will know your movement before others know and tell you. You stop just sitting around waiting for the world to dictate your path, and instead, you have the foresight and the internal alignment to start making your own moves with complete confidence. So as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one final, highly provocative thought. If you are still feeling confused about your path, I want you to strip it all back and ask yourself right now, why are you here and what are you good at? All the answers and all the guidance you need from that waiting angel are literally right there at your fingertips. You just have to step up, get to know your ideas, and get to know yourself. Take that question with you today, let it simmer, and I'll see you in the next explainer.